Alright, chat, what's going on? Today, we are going to be doing a tier list. It looks for me like we are 2 hours from the Legend of Phrecia starting. And, yeah, so we're 2 hours from the Legend of Phrecia starting. And, I mean, I kind of have an idea in my head as to what I'm going to be doing when it comes to my league start here. But I did want to put it in a tier list so we have something a little bit more concrete to go off of right before it starts. So we're starting with the Daughter of Oshabi. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is one that I don't particularly hate. I think it's very interesting how we're bringing back this, which I don't remember where this is from, but I've seen this multiple times, where depending on having no sockets, you get multiple different things going on. Do you want to be in the background?
Sure. I'm just going to...
Okay. Yeah, we got Logan joining us today.
Mr. the Logan, subscribe to my channel.
He's just eating a bunch of fucking Jolly Rancher!
I'm chewing Jolly Ranchers.
Like a little bitch.
I'm the kid from the video.
The video, true. So, I do think it's really interesting how we're doing Daughter of Oshabi, because get the random shrine buff every 10 seconds. That could be either really good or really bad. I'm someone who very much values consistency when it comes to PoE. And create lesser shrine when you kill an enemy is really cool. That's really good. Especially if the shrine effects stack, which I'm not sure if they do. If they do, though, W. The grasping vine poison stuff means you have to hit an enemy 5 times, so it's going to be a really rate of attack type build. I mean, there's just nothing really here, though. Because nothing your enemy screams powerful. I'm having to give up sockets if I want to do this. I have to hit 5 times to inflict a poison. I'm not planning on using Sacred Wisps, really. And also, like, the Spellslinger stuff is cool. Nothing about Daughter of Oshabi seems super powerful. It's alright. If I had to use it, I would. But I'm not going out of my way to league start with it, if you know what I mean. Where's the power in this? Projectile attacks can fork. That's cool. That's cool. Increases and reductions to spell damage also apply to attacks at 150% of their value. That's cool. So you can run a physical build or an attack build on Ranger. That's cool. That's cool. 50% increased blind effect. 100% increased stealth. Blind enemies on hit. That's cool. We're going to see a lot of blind stuff in this patch for some reason. It's just another thing where gain 10 range. Cool. That's fine. 50% increased mana cost of skills with the trade-off of attack skills have added lightning damage equal to 4% of maximum mana. So you get mana scaling as well, which is cool. Plus, with the maximum mana per dexterity on a ranger, I think this is really powerful, this combo here. If you do mana stack, then don't panic yet, means these 3 are really powerful points. And then if you're doing projectiles with, if you're doing projectiles on attack skills, then you can do Have You Forgotten, and I think you just do these 4 points and it's really, really good. That being said, everything else here is not great, but I do think Whisper is high pipe, for sure. I think Whisper definitely has some stuff. Some stuff, for sure. So, we got Wild Speaker up next, and this is a personal hype tier list, okay? This is all personal preference. And I will tell you right now, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't use buffs that often apart from just reserving mana down to the point where the build guide says. I don't care about summons, really. Uncritical Strike is cool, but I also don't use critical strikes that much. I just like doing melee or some basic like Toxic Rain type shit and just running with that. So for me, it's not super, super high pipe. It feels undercooked to me because you get this, right? This is insane. This is literally Headhunter. That's insane. But minions, I don't give a fuck about minions. We share power with party members. We share power, frenzy, and endurance charges with party members. And we all have Tailwind. That's really cool, but I play solo most of the time. And the other thing is, I would, off of these 2 alone, I would play this in a group when I play with Matthew later. But I'm not going to do that because of something we're going to talk about later. So, to me, it's alright. It's alright. I just don't care. This is cool, but it's reducing the amount of spell suppression done, period. And then where do you put the 4th point? Do you put it into this, or do you forego Primal Instinct and do Flash of Teeth, Fearful Symmetry, Great Wolf's Call, and Boon of the first ones? I think that's the general game plan, but in order for me to even give a shit about this, having Tailwind always is really, really nice, but I also want to be getting the most out of this, but I'm not going to be doing that because of something we'll be talking about in a minute. So, it goes in alright for me. For Marauder, this is my class. We first have the Antiquarian. Why? I'm not using projectiles. If I'm running projectiles, I'm doing Ranger. If I'm running Splitting Steel, I'm doing Duelist. Okay. Ward is cool. Is cool, for sure. But, is it good enough for me to take an entire ascendancy for it? Because Adrenaline, okay, cool. 100% faster restoration of Ward, 100% increased global defenses. These are 2 good points now. No intelligence, but increased strength. +1 increased duration per 10 strength. You could build around this. But the problem is, when compared to some other stuff, it just goes into hype. There's some cool stuff. Actually, no. It goes into it's alright again. It's like, yeah, there's some cool stuff here, but I'm not super interested in it. This is great, though. This is great. And the stat manipulation is cool. But I am always going to be taking these 2. If I'm running Antiquarian, I'm doing it for Ward. Whatever else comes out of that, I'm not playing this build for stat manipulation. And maybe I'm wrong, and then there's going to be some stat manipulation stuff, and I'm going to end up loving it. But for now, it's alright. Thank you. Why am I taking an ascendancy point that is actively disabling me? I'm asking GGG to take a fucking crowbar to my knees, fuck off and die. That shit is never happening, ever. Because you have to take this point. You have to. You do not have another choice. You are taking Rampager, which Rampage and melee hits count as Rampage kills. Great. I'm not hitting an enemy 10 fucking times, man. Not as a Marauder. No. Okay. Enough said. This is Titan, but in a game where melee is fun. Can you believe that? Reduced Warcry speed, increased Warcry recovery rate. Nearby corpses explode when you Warcry, dealing 12% of their life as physical damage. Your Warcries open chests. So you get Corpse Explosion on Warcry. And strike skills which target an additional enemy can do so from 50% further away. And nearby enemies convert 50% of their physical damage to fire. This is the PoE 2 meta, put into 1 PoE Ascendancy. Give me more, bro. I fucking love this shit. This is going to be so much fun. Running a Warcry build, because I haven't done that in leagues and leagues and leagues. Running a Warcry build, maxing out my fire res like a plain chieftain, and then also have my strike skills target something else. I could do a lightning strike build. I could do a molten strike of the zenith build. There are so many options here that I like. And you have the entire rest of this, which this isn't bad either. This is all pretty good too. It's just, this up here is fucking insane. Like, yeah, Death Rattle alone makes this a login for me. Surfcaster also goes into login. Why? Enemies you kill are shocked, which comes after 100% of lightning damage converted to cold damage. Your cold damage can shock. So, I could be running some form of lightning strike or some form of other lightning ability, stacking cold on top of that, and getting guaranteed shocks when I kill, while still having my shock chance. Come the fuck on, man. And enemies chilled, because keep in mind, I'm shocking and chilling. Enemies chilled by your hits lessen their damage dealt by half of chill effect, and enemies chilled have damage taken increased by chill effect. So I'm getting essentially a curse effect, essentially 2 curse effects from just doing damage with lightning skills, and chilling, which leads to freezes, and shocks. It's insane. And this all leaves you with 1 extra point, which means that if you wanted to, you can go 50% to freeze enemies for 1 second when they hit you. Enemies you freeze remain frozen for at least 1 second to prevent free scaling. Or you can do Ghost of the Deep. Destiny reference. Oh! Ghost of the Deep here. And I don't know how the fuck this works. I don't get this. You are touched by a tormented illegal fisherman. What? Does that mean it's like a Acolyte of Chayula where I have to go do something to get this? Or do I always have this? Because if I always have this, what the fuck is going on? W. If I don't always have that, then I'm doing sea legs. 30% to cold and lightning resistances. Critical strike chances increased by overcapping. Evasion rating increased by overcapping. Yeah, Surfcaster's fucking gas. Currently, I'm picking between which of these 2 to log in on. First, And I'm thinking it's going to be Surfcaster. But we'll see. Knowing me, I'm probably going to end up doing Ancestral Commander, but it's a toss-up for sure. Servant of Arakali. Anything that raises spiders or uses marks or curses or shit like this, I don't give a fuck about. I couldn't care less. Undercooked, to me. Not even undercooked, it's just won't touch, because I'm just not interested in it. Aspect of the Spider, I need to see what that does. Enemies affected by your spider webs deal 50% reduced damages, have 50% to all resistances. Okay, so you're getting a little bit of a damage build up there. Gain 30% of physical damages, extra chaos damages while at maximum power charges. Okay. Okay. Envy has no reservation. Okay. But nothing here screams powerful to me. Not to the point where I want to pick it. Especially without this other stuff. Blind Prophet goes in a new tier. What? I need to see how this works. I'm very interested. Because becoming always blind by default, and you have to become blind, I'm very interested in seeing where this goes. Because to me, I'm going to take Sightless, Directionless, and Careless, and skills fire 2 projectiles, and then with my extra point, probably go into Shapeless? Probably? Although, I mean, I could go into Lightless, but I'm not really going to be doing Abyss Jewels. Lightless is more exists to go into Formless, but I think you do Directionless, Sightless, Careless, and Shapeless, and that's what I'm going to be going off of just by default, but I need to see how it works. Nothing here screams super powerful to me. I'm going to put it under It's Alright. I just don't know what's going on with that. This also goes in what tier? Because truthfully, we need to see what these Harbinger skills do in order for me to care. I don't channel, I don't use hex skills, and I don't really interact with buffs. It's just not for me. But I need to see how these Harbingers work, because I might change my ways if the Harbingers are really good. But I don't think they're going to be. In terms of Herald, this one is just going to go into Hype for me. Like I said, I don't really use buffs, but I'm also not against building off of buffs the way that I am against building off of hexes. Elemental Conflux is cool. Getting additional elemental damage equal to half your chaos resistance. That's a really good defensive modifier. Choosing between these future ones, depending on what you want to do, is really, really good, because it lets you pick the Herald that you want. You are giving up aura skills, but in 200% increased mana reservation means you could just take all 5 of these fucking points and not care. If you wanted to. If you were going to stack it that way. I think there's so much to do here that it goes into Hype for me, but it's not going to be my league starter. I just want to see what I can do with it. Just in POB. Bog Shaman? No. It's just Blood Mage. It's like, okay. Pacify skills, cool. 100% of mana spent on upfront steal mana cost as physical damage. Skills gain added chaos damage equal to 40% of mana cost. So a good, really good damage modifier. I don't understand what Venom Drinker's doing. I don't understand what Felfen is doing. I don't really care. Felfen, it could be good, but it seems like a CI thing to me where you're going to take it under very specific circumstances, and those circumstances will not be discovered by me. Taking Rotten Core and then going into Nightblood turns you into a Blood Mage, which is really cool. I'm stupid. Taking Violent Impractions, where you get nearby enemies have Malediction. Malediction's a really good thing to have on all of them. This, I don't like Toad Pact at all. I'm not going to take Pandemic, but I think if anything, you go Eerie Silence, Vile Imprecations, Nightblood, Sanguine Power. Probably. But we'll see. We'll see. To me, it's undercooked. I don't see the point in it. Alright, Duelist. We have got... Oh, Gambler? I'm not touching this shit. Like I said, I care about consistency. You can tell by the name alone, I don't give a fuck about Gambler. Moving on. Paladin. This is the reason why I'm not interested in Wildspeaker. Is because with Paladin, I'm going to be taking Field Medicine, Deep Connections, then coming over here, taking Elemental Valiance, and Light of Divinity. Like, this, with the Link skill stuff, is perfect for party play, and I would prefer that to Wildspeaker, so Paladin just kind of gets rid of it to me. Aristocrat, this is also a login. They cooked with everything not named Gambler on Duelist. And why did they cook? Because getting passive skill points is insane. I'm very interested to see what people could do. You get Inherited Fortune to start off with. Then you go into Family Heirlooms. You get +1 level to all skill gems, plus 15% quality of all skill gems. So you're playing Legionnaire without having to use shitty-ass crossbows. And then you go into Fancy Foil. You're not frozen. Increased Dexterity. So you can dex stack and still have your gem stuff. It's a perfect all-rounder class, and I'm really excited to see what's going on with. I'm very excited for Aristocrat. With Templar, I can already tell you right the fuck now, Architect of Chaos is undercooked as shit. I don't care about Val skills unless it's Zenith. I don't care about Val skills unless it's Lightning Strike. Very, 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 very few Val skills will ever get my attention because I do not like Souls. I do not understand Souls. I do not want to learn how Souls work. I don't care. Skills cost life instead of mana. Oh, okay, that's sure. Skills reserve life instead of mana. Okay, sure. Why am I taking 2 points for this? This could be rolled into 1. This could be rolled into 1. This could be sent in an email. Like, come on. Then, Glimpse Chaos, 80% increased maximum life for each corrupted item equipped. I don't use corrupted items. I think building into Val is cool. It's just, to me, I don't see that much power in what Architect of Chaos has to offer, and I don't care. I know I'm putting everything in your login, okay? I don't give a fuck. They cooked. They cooked. Polytheist is phenomenal, man. You take, for me, this is the only class in the game where I'm like, I want to play this, and I don't know how. I think I'm going to make 2 Polytheists in this league, because Devout of Garkan, Devout of Solaris, Devout of Yugal, or Devout of Ralakesh, and Devout of Lunaris is really cool. But I could also mix any of those with Devout of Rislatha. How do I pronounce that? Rislatha. So I was right. Devout of Rislatha and Devout of the Brine King, as opposed to one of those two, is so cool. And the fact that there's 3 options I want to take, but I can only take 2. I want to build 2 Polytheists just so I can see what I like more. I think Devout of Garakan, Devout of Solaris, Devout of Ralakesh, Devout of Lunaris is going to be the best option in the game. But I'm very interested to see, and because of that, it goes into login for me. Actually, it's going to go into High Pipe, because login are things that I could, and so is Aristocrat. Actually, no, so is Paladin. Because logins are potential league starters. High Pipes are what I'm playing immediately afterward. Let me order this real quick. Yeah, that's right. Puppeteer? Won't touch. I don't fuck with minions. Period. Goodbye. Okay. Here's the problem with fucking Scavenger, right? Stasis Prison. Okay, sure. Cloak of Flame, take that shit. That is fucking incredible. You take... there's not a world where you do not take Cloak of Flame, ever, when you're playing this character. Cloak of Flame, stack Fire Res, you're good. Okay, perfect. Foxshade, 20% increased movement speed while on full life. Damage of enemies hitting you is unlucky while you're on full life. 80% increased global evasion rating when you're on full life. This is kind of very, very, very situational and not something I'm super interested in using, but I could see it. Chevron's Wrapping, once again, not super interested, but I could see it. Worked really well with CI. 40% increased effective shrine buffs on you. I don't care about this. The problem here is there are some things I like Chaos Damage can ignite, chill, and shock. Gain adrenaline for 5 seconds on kill. But like Leadership's Price. Have Scorching Conflicts, Battle Conflicts, and Snapping Conflicts while your 2 highest attributes are equal. But you cannot ignite, chill, or freeze, or shock. It's already incredibly conditional, but it also does not add much to your character.
We have 17 minutes.
I know. I just fundamentally cannot force myself to care. And that goes for all 3 of these images. Every single one of them. Scavenger is undercooked as hell. And that being said, I'm going to go into Scavenger. It's between these 2. Aristocrat's my next character. I think it's going to be Ancestral Commander, because it's going to be an easier league start for me, and then Surfcaster's going to be my endgame build. But, yeah. Tune in tonight, if you're watching this the day that this is uploaded, tonight, at about 5 p.m. Mountain, until the end of the night, I am just streaming Phrecia. I am so excited for this event, and I cannot wait. Make sure to join me there at twitch.tv/Hadakai. Link in description, link on channel bio, everything. Make sure you go and subscribe right now so you can see more Phrecia content, and make sure that you check tonight and go watch the stream, motherfuckers. Let's